Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's program, the public lecture hosted by NCAS, the National Capital Area Skeptics. I'm Scott Snell, NCAS President. Tonight we have a special guest from a faraway land, that would be New Mexico. I think psychologist Ray Hyman still holds the record for the farthest distance traveled to give a talk to us, coming from Oregon. But anyway, our speaker tonight comes from the land of enchantment. That's what's on the New Mexico license plate. His name's Benjamin Radford. He's a writer, investigator, and managing editor of Skeptical Inquirer Magazine. Also author of 3 books and hundreds of articles on various topics, including critical thinking, urban legends, psychics. His columns appear in Skeptical Inquirer, the newspaper Weekly Alibi, that's a New Mexico, Albuquerque alternative newspaper, and on the web at www.livescience.com and www.csicop.org. Radford has appeared on the Discovery Channel, CNN, National Geographic Channel, the Learning Channel, and others. He's also a filmmaker and board game designer. His website is www.radfordbooks.com. His talk for tonight is The Truth About Psychic Detectives. Ladies and gentlemen, Benjamin Radford.
Thank you. For those of you, that was a fairly good introduction to what I do, but let me give a little more in-depth thing. Again, as Scott mentioned, I am the managing editor of Skeptical Inquirer Magazine. That part of my job is frankly kind of boring. That's like correcting grammar, fixing gerunds, telling professors of English that they don't have a subject in their sentence. Which I have done. I won't name names, but there are a couple rather snooty professors who insist that their work not be touched because it's golden, and then I point out that they don't have a subject in their sentence. So, but that's the boring part of what I do. The interesting part of what I do, at least I think, is the investigations, and that actually consumes a good chunk of my time, and it's the part that I find most interesting. I would say probably after Bigfoot and urban legends, really psychics is probably my third most favorite topic, just because it involves such a wide variety of phenomena, everything from psychic mediums to predictions, telekinesis, things like that. So, come on in, we just started. So, the truth about psychic detectives. Well, let's start out with what do we mean by psychic detectives, and what do they do? Well, the claim is that they provide information about where missing people are or help solve crimes. Now, I need to clarify information, because that is the operative. That's the operative phrase, and by information I mean contradictory and usually vague feelings, generalizations about something having to do with where someone is. There's the number 5. Bodies near water, bodies not near water, bodies near something wood, etc., or trees. Or I mean, it's remarkable the breadth of material that's qualified as a success by psychics, and that's actually one of the interesting keys to understanding why it is that that many people believe them to be successful. That's actually, to me, the most interesting part about it is. It's not so much how do they do it, because the answer is they don't. That's not the question. The question is, why do people seem to think they do it? That really is the fascinating part, and a big part of the answer is that most people, everybody from Montel Williams and Larry King on down, have a very loose grasp or understanding of what constitutes good evidence and constitutes good scientific evidence. One of the interesting things about psychic detectives is that it's actually a combination of 2 different paranormal topics. One of them is psychic mediumship, because most psychic detectives claim to actually be talking to the dead. Not all of them, but many of them say, the reason I know what happened to this person is because I'm communicating with their spirit, which of course opens up lots of interesting questions along the way. And the other aspect is what's called psychometry, which is the claimed ability to get vibrations and read vibrations from objects, such as, for example, many psychic detectives will ask to get a hairbrush or a set of keys or some personal object that they say that they can then sense and get vibrations off of. I'm ignoring you. There you go. So actually, again, so psychic detectives typically are an interesting blend of more than one type of claimed power. And of course, they appear on TV all the time. Larry King is famous for never finding a psychic detective he couldn't give lots of airtime to. Montel Williams, his favorite is, of course, Sylvia Brown. I can, in the Q&A, I don't have time to go into all of her failings here. That would really take all night. But maybe I can touch on a couple in the Q&A. And of course, there's also TV shows. There's at least 3 or 4 that I can think of. There's a series called Psychic Detectives on Court TV, which I think is now True TV. It has different incarnations. There's, of course, the TV show Medium. It's a hit NBC show, which is based on Sylvia Brown, or not Sylvia Brown, excuse me, Alison Dubois. And she's an Arizona psychic detective who claims to have done all sorts of stuff. And interestingly enough, when the TV show Medium first came out, I guess it's been about 5 years now, I heard of Alison Dubois, and so when I saw the first couple shows, it said, you know, the psychic detectives and that, and then at the tagline was, "There really is an Alison." Really? Thinking, really? Interesting, okay. So I was reading more about her, and I went to the NBC website. And looking up her bio, because you know they're promoting the show. Their big new hit series did turn out to be a hit, starring Patricia Arquette. And for those of you who don't know, again, she claims to be a psychic medium. She works with police and solves crimes, and she gets visions and this and that and the other. And so I'm looking at Alison Dubois' bio that she provided to NBC. And in that bio, as in other places, she claims to have solved crimes, which to me wasn't, I've seen that before, there's nothing particularly interesting about that. But she claimed to have solved crimes for the Glendale Police Department, where she lives, and also the Texas Rangers. I'm thinking, well, that's interesting. So I called up the Texas Rangers. I said, this is Benjamin Radford, I'm an investigative writer at Skeptical Inquirer Magazine, blah, blah, blah. Have you worked with this person, Alison Dubois? And the answer was a rather cold no. No, we haven't, and we do not employ psychic detectives, and thank you for calling. Really? All right, let me just get this person's name. No, thank you. So then I think, well, maybe they forgot. Maybe the Texas Rangers, maybe she solved a bunch of cases of Texas Rangers, and they're like, oh, no, we're going to claim that for her own. So let me call the Glendale Police Department. Called the Glendale Police Department. Well, in this case, they had, in fact, heard of her. They had heard of her because people kept calling, asking if they'd heard of her. And the answer was no, the Glendale police do not use psychics, and they certainly didn't use psychics. They certainly didn't use Alison Dubois in that case or any other one. So, well, right. Well, let's see. Therein lies the rub, as they say.